Hey love, I'm Gina, a fitness, nutrition, and self-love coach, helping high-achieving women heal their relationship with food and their bodies so they can finally feel free, strong, and confident in their own skin. If you've ever felt stuck in the cycle of restriction, binging, and body shame, trust me, you are not alone. On this podcast, we're calling out diet culture BS, building your dream body without the obsession, and getting real about what it actually means to love yourself in a world that constantly tells you not to. I've been there. Anorexia, binge eating, body hate, you name it, I've lived it. And now I help women just like you find food freedom, feel sexy in their skin, and take their damn power back. So get ready, because the Fit Without Obsession podcast starts now. Hey guys, today we're gonna dive into how to build your dream body without losing your mind, because I feel like so many of us for our entire lives have really just thought that we have to make all of these sacrifices and we have to try harder and do more to get this beautiful physique that we love. And it feels like it's not possible to do without completely stripping away our life and completely taking over. So I really want to dive into how we're going to find this dream body for you without it affecting your mental health, without it taking over every single thought, all of your energy, because you shouldn't have to burn out, binge, or hate your way into your dream body. I'm here to tell you that I finally found my dream body, honestly, once I stopped pushing it so hard, once I stopped having all these extreme rules. And really the version of me who hated her body was the same one that was working the hardest to change it and still felt like a failure. I feel like when I hated where I was at, I tried more, I did more, I put all these rules on myself, and it only got me actually further from the body that I wanted. And today we're really going to talk about what it truly takes to build your dream body without spiraling into obsession, shame, and just another fucking restart, because you don't need that. Like, you've done the restarts, you started over Monday, you've tried a million bajillion plans, and this is going to be the one that's going to actually stick for you and be the last plan that you need. It's really not even a plan with rules. It's just a structure that is going to be sustainable for you moving forward. And today I'm really going to break down the lies, the shifts, and the exact same things I wish someone had screamed at me when I was really stuck in the place of my health kick and thinking that things would finally stick. But then just to come to find out, I was just stuck back at square one. So I really want to first dive into the 3 biggest lies that you've been fed about actually getting results, because you've seen so many of these things online. And even to this day, I feel like with social media, coaches have gotten a lot more understanding and trying to share more actual lifestyle content that makes sense. But at the end of the day, not every single coach out there is. And I would still say the majority of fitness programming and diet kind of culture things that you're seeing out there are still feeding you these major lies. So the first lie that I want to talk about is the one saying that you just need to be more disciplined. Because the thing is, discipline is not your problem. I know this because you've actually been too disciplined. If you're like me, you feel like you have added 5 million rules to your day where you have to wake up at a certain time, you have to do a certain workout, you have to burn X amount of calories, you have to eat this at this time, you have to go to bed at this time. It's so exhausting to have all of these things. Like, you are disciplined. You are. You've been canceling plans maybe. You've been counting almonds. You've been crying because you ate bread. You're in this stuck place because of too much discipline. And I know for me, like, I remember a moment where I was going to a pizza party at my roommate's place, and the thing is I actually packed my own dinner. Everyone else was having pizza, but I thought that, I wanted to be the disciplined one. I wanted to be the one that stuck to my plan and all my rules. So I remember packing a sandwich slim, literally like those 100-calorie ones, like, don't even taste good. They're literally not even like real bread, I feel like. And I had measured out the littlest bit of peanut butter, and I put like maybe a third of a banana on it because I wouldn't even let myself eat a full banana at this point. And I smiled on the outside at that time, and I was like, wow, guys, I love this meal. That's why I want to have this. I don't even miss pizza, but like, really inside, I felt like I was dying. Like, I literally felt like discipline was something that, yes, maybe I was checking the box off of, but it was leaving me feeling like my life wasn't my life, or like something that I even wanted to live, because it wasn't enjoyable. And, discipline isn't the hard part. Obsession disguised as discipline is what actually is destroying you. Because discipline can actually be a healthy thing, right? You know, you can be disciplined to show up at the gym a few times a week and disciplined to make sure that you're fueling yourself with good foods. But when we take it too far and it turns into obsession, that is where we're going to really get even further from those results that we're looking for. Now, lie number 2 that I want to go into is that if you want it bad enough, you'll suffer through it. So if your plan makes you hate your life, like I was just talking about where I was at, and I'm sure you're feeling like you fucking hate your life right now, if you've been following a million diets and none of them have actually worked and you're still gaining weight or you're still hating the way you feel in your skin, your plan makes you feel this hatred, it's not working. If your plan actually requires suffering, that's not a lifestyle because it's going to lead to slow burnout. You know, there's a difference between commitment and punishment, and most plans that you see online, like I talked about, even in-person personal trainers, sadly, sell you punishment in disguise. And we've become so normalized to this, thinking that we need to suffer and we need to work harder and we need to be basically almost at the point of passing out when we have a workout and we need to restrict. And all of these things that we think are normal, they're not a flex. They're really not. Like, suffering is not a flex. It's a red flag. You know, you're not failing because you can't suffer harder. You're failing because you were never taught how to build results with respect for your body. That's the only way you're going to actually get true results, is having that respect from your starting point. And lie number 3 that I want to talk about is you have to earn your body. And like, even saying that a lot, I'm like, you know what does that even mean? Earn what? Like, earn it by what? Like starving, shrinking your joy right alongside it? Your body is really not a prize to be earned. It's a partner that needs to be taken care of. So you don't need to earn anything. You already have a beautiful, amazing body just by existing. There's nothing for you to need to strive for. We can have goals, but you don't have to earn the body that you're looking for. Now, obviously, we've talked about the lies, but I do want to really dive into what actually creates the dream body that you want that isn't going to ruin your life. Because we really need some strategy here, right? We've heard and we've learned that the things that you've tried up until this point aren't working. So what is going to actually work for you moving forward? And the first thing, this is probably going to be hard to hear, especially if you've been stuck eating less calories, eating as little as possible, thinking that that is the way to lose weight because that's what we've heard so many times. But number 1 is eating enough. Yes, and more than you think. Because if you're tired, binging, or obsessing and still not seeing the results, it's not a willpower issue. It's usually a calorie issue. Because real muscles and confidence and curves and the body that you actually want, that toned body, requires fuel. And most women think that we have to get there by, you know, being in a place of under eating, but really being toned requires actual muscle definition. So if we're not fueling ourselves in a way where we're going to be able to actually create muscle, actually burn body fat, what's going to happen is you're going to either be stuck in this place where you can't lose weight, or you're going to lose weight and you're not going to like the way that you look or feel because you don't have that toned look that I know that you're striving for. So I will say for me, honestly, my best results when I finally got into the body that I love now, my dream body, the one that I felt like my entire life I was like searching for and trying so hard for and couldn't get to, it finally showed up for me when I stopped eating like a bird. Like, honestly, when I started to actually eat more for the first time, my body trusted me enough to change. And this isn't just eat a little bit more either, because I obviously like went through my phase where I was stuck in anorexia. So I ate very, very minimally. So after that, I actually went on to eat what I thought was more than that. And I was eating maybe even up to 1,600 calories. But for my body and the movement I was doing and just how fast my metabolism is, that was not enough. And it still was keeping me stuck in my body's survival mode. So my body didn't want to lose weight or change or transition because I was trying to hold onto as much food as possible because I still wasn't feeding enough. So even though, yes, I was eating more than I previously was, there's a difference between eating more and eating enough to where your body can feel safe. So once I finally actually started eating like more than 2,000 calories a day, and I know for some of you listening to this, that sounds like so much. It's really not. I promise you, your body is asking for it. It needs it. And I know it's confusing because you feel like if you've been eating at like 1,200 calories, you're not losing weight. Like, how could eating more help you? But it's because your body is stuck in this mode of like just thinking that you're not even going to be able to survive. It's not able to actually trust you enough to turn into the physique that you want. The second thing that I want you to start doing to actually get your dream body and the transition and change we need to make is we need to start lifting to build and not to burn. So if your workouts are just about burning calories, you're really missing the point, because the goal isn't to be smaller, it's to be stronger and more confident, more you. For me, when I stopped working out to punish myself and started working out to build the version of me I wanted to meet in the mirror, like that is when I finally got to that place of loving what I saw. And the thing is honestly, some of my most effective workouts, I will say, have nothing to do with the calories I'm burning. I'll actually even burn less on some of my best workouts. Because when we are lifting and we're actually trying to develop muscle mass, muscle helps your metabolism speed up. Yes, you might burn more calories doing cardio in the moment, but what is going to actually help you utilize a faster metabolism, burn more calories throughout the day, throughout the next day, is lifting weights. Strength training is so good for you. And it's also way more sustainable to be able to lift a few times a week than spend hours and hours and hours on the treadmill. That is just going to exhaust you and burn you out and put your body in fight or flight mode. And the third thing that you actually need to do to create your dream body is healing your mindset while chasing the aesthetic. This is probably the biggest one. I really want to harp on this one, because if your goals are fueled by shame, you're going to never be confident. You can't hate your way into a body that you love. Self-hate is not a motivator. It is not, guys. I know that you think, like, especially if you grew up and your parents kind of maybe said negative things to you in order for you to excel, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, obviously, like, your parents were doing the best that they could at the time. But I think sometimes we take that into adulthood and we reprimand ourselves when we don't get to the exact goal that we're looking for. That self-hate is not a motivator. It's an anchor. It's going to sink you. It's going to keep you stuck and away from your dream body. And the body you want won't fix the mindset that you're refusing to work on. Like, I don't care if you get to the body goal visually, because if you don't actually address your food fears, your all or nothing thoughts, your self-talk, you're still going to feel like shit about yourself. You really can't hate yourself into a body that you'll love. Point blank, period. So I want to go into today why you've tried everything and still feel stuck. Because most fitness advice was never made for women that are healing. This is a big key here. So a lot of fitness advice out there is really honestly anchored in research on men. So if you're a woman, it's already not going to work for you, because it doesn't even take into account, yes, different gender, but also our cycle and just our hormones and all of the things. So on top of that, it was not made for you as a woman. And it was made for someone that maybe has like this amazing, perfect relationship with food, which realistically, I will say in today's society, I don't think anyone has a perfect relationship with food. I think we all have heard and grew up with all these mixed messages about dieting and eating less and how being smaller makes us worthy. So really, we're in a place of needing to heal. So right there, most of the fitness advice out there, honestly, like I would say 99.9% probably, is not made for women healing, right? You've been taught to track and restrict and grind, but you haven't been taught to actually feel and be able to ebb and flow with your life. Maybe plans and macros and all of those things can work in the perfect ideal situation, but they're not going to work when you have mental health issues or emotions going on, or you lose a loved one, or you have to move, or you have to travel, you get a new job. All of these changes, it's going to feel so overwhelming to be trapped in this like very strict regimen when you have to go through those things. And most plans don't know what it's like to have food guilt or body trauma. They really don't. Macros can't fix the part of you that believes your worth is tied to how small you are. That's the sad truth. Macros can be great. Don't get me wrong. I actually utilize macro tracking and calorie counting with some of my clients if they are in a place where they can handle that, because it can be an educational tool. But really, you being happy, you being confident, you feeling good in your skin and in your body, having that body that you want, you need to believe that you're worthy. You need to believe that you are confident and free no matter what, right? Like, you can't be at this place where you're striving for this body because you think it's going to fix you. That's something that really stands out for my program, Fit Without Obsession, is I've lived it. I get it. Like I've built this program, my one-on-one coaching program, for women who are done with the obsession but still want results. And really, Fit Without Obsession isn't just a plan. It's a process of unlearning, rebuilding, and rewiring your brain so that we can get to the body of your dreams, but you're also in a place where your mind is so much healthier. Other coaches give you macros, and I actually help you rewire your brain around food and teach you how to trust yourself again. Now, I want you to take a gut check. This is very important. I want you to ask yourself these things before you chase another quote unquote plan or diet or whatever it is that you find is the latest fad. So I want you to really reflect and ask yourself, when you look at this plan or this diet, whatever it is this plan something you could see yourself doing 6 months from now? Or what about on vacation? Because nothing is going to work long-term. Nothing is going to be sustainable if you can't do it for long-term, if it doesn't feel sustainable, right? Like you can't follow a diet that isn't one that you want to do forever. Really, you can't cut foods that you love. You can't cut out things because you're going to go back to square one. You're going to go back to those foods. You're going to binge on them. Even if you lose weight with this like quote unquote plan or diet, you're still going to gain it back in the long run. And then you're going to be stuck back at the start. And you just went through this miserable process. I know that you've lived that. I know you've done that a lot of times. So before even starting something new, really pause and ask yourself if you could see yourself doing this long term. Now, you also need to ask yourself, are you chasing a goal or are you running from the belief that you're not enough right now? Because if you are chasing a goal, that's fine. Like I have goals. I wanted to lean out a little bit for my wedding. And I did that in a very healthful way because I'm at this healed place, right? And it wasn't coming from a restrictive standpoint or coming from a place of feeling like I needed to lose weight to be beautiful at my wedding. No, I just wanted to. And I knew that I could because I had the tools in my toolbox. But if you're running from a belief that you're not enough, you need to investigate that first, honey. Like you cannot go after this new diet and think that it's going to make you feel enough. It is not. That is something you have to do internally, and it has nothing to do with the food that you're eating or the workouts you're doing. And another thing that I want you to ask before you go into this next plan is, what if your dream body didn't come from restriction, but from finally feeling safe to show up fully as you are? Because once your body feels safe, once you are able to get out of that fight or flight mode, once you are able to find a peaceful state, that is when you're going to lose weight. That is when you're going to finally have the clothes fit the way you want. That is when you're going to look in the mirror and be like, damn, I look fucking good. Not when you're stuck in fight or flight mode. Not when you're stuck pushing and pushing harder and staying up late and getting up early for that workout and putting all of this strain on you. That is not when it's going to happen. You know, you're not lazy. You're exhausted from trying to be perfect at something that was never sustainable. So if you keep feeling like you're failing and you keep feeling like you've tried everything and nothing's working, it's just because you're following the wrong approach. Now, I really want to go into the Dream Body Blueprint, and we talked a little bit about this earlier, but I really want to map it out for you as we end this episode and also show you how you can do this in a way without losing your sanity. So number one, we talked about this before, eat enough to fuel your body. I need to say it again, and I probably need to say it 5 million times because this is something so hard to unlearn. I see clients all the time being worried to increase their calories, and then they do it, and then they go, oh my gosh, like I feel so good. I actually look better. I actually lost the weight. And I'm like, yep, I know. I told you. But it really works because we don't want to just be in survival mode. Now, number two, to get your dream body is train with intention, not punishment. So if you do feel like you're going to the gym and it's coming from a place of like, oh my gosh, I need to burn off this pizza from last night, or I need to hit X amount of calories today, I need to make sure that I hit my step goal, whatever it is, like if it's coming from a place of punishment, I want you to not go. I literally would rather you sit down and not do any movement. That's actually going to be better for you getting towards that dream body, which I know sounds backwards, but it's going to help you retrain yourself to understand that like training is a positive thing and you actually can love it and you can actually feel good about it. Now, number three, I want you to start rewiring your self-talk because it builds your future just as much as your actions. Honestly, what we say to ourselves is what creates what is to come. So we need to be very focused, yes, on our future and our goals, but we need to be focused on the present and what we are saying inside of our head. Because if we're saying we're fat, we're ugly, we're worthless, we can't expect ourselves to believe anything less than that, like tomorrow or the day after or a month from now. We really need to change that narrative. Now, number four, I want you to stop asking, what do I need to cut? And actually start asking, what do I need to add? And this is a big one that I love. I love to talk about nutrition by addition. Having on your plate what you want and then adding what you need, right? So not actually cutting out any food groups, not actually saying that you can't have certain things, adding in more fiber, adding in more protein, adding in more micronutrients, all of those things are going to help you feel more satisfied, going to help you feel fuller, and in turn, you're going to be eating a lot more balanced, which is then going to get you the body that you're looking for versus just cutting and stripping things out of your life, especially if you're craving them. We should actually have our cravings, because I'm sure you know that if you don't give into that craving, it's going to eat away at you, and then you're going to end up eating way, way more of that thing once we get to this like burnout place of, oh my gosh, I literally need this in my mouth right now. I can't even take it anymore. And now number 5 of the Dream Body Blueprint is anchor every habit in respect, not restriction. Again, if you are trying to do things because you feel like you need to cut things out in order to hit your goals, and you've been told that, I want you to stop doing those things. You need to analyze, literally sit down with pen and paper and be like, okay, what habits would actually help me feel good? Not what habits do I think I should do? What habits would help me feel good, help me feel empowered, help me feel strong? Those are the things that we need to start implementing in your life. You know, the dream body isn't just about what you look like. It's actually how you live inside. It really is. That's the biggest thing that I honestly want to get across with this episode is it doesn't matter how much you do on the outside. If you are stuck in a place of self-hate and self-loathing and just putting this negative self-talk on yourself, it is going to be almost impossible to change the outside appearance. This isn't about giving up on your goals. It's about finally getting there without breaking yourself in the process. Your dream body is not found in obsession. It's built through alignment. And I know that it's hard too. You probably feel a little bit alone in this, right? Like it can feel like maybe you understand, okay, I do need to eat more. I maybe need to stop punishing myself with workouts, but I don't know where to start. Like I don't know how to actually do that. But if you're done burning yourself out in the name of progress and you're ready for a method that actually works without wrecking your mental health, I do have Fit Without Obsession. That's exactly what I made this for. I made this for you. I made this so that we can begin this journey together, and you don't have to question how to do these things. You literally have me to tell you how to do those things. And you have me to help you through those moments where that negative self-talk is taking over and you don't know where to turn. I am here to help lift you up and help make sure that we are building habits that are coming from respect. If you're ready to go on this journey and investigate this further and actually get this dream body without it being just another diet that you're going to fail, and actually have it be this long-term thing that you don't ever have to go on another plan again, I want you to DM me what part of your dream body journey has been the most confusing, shameful, and exhausting. And I'll send you a voice note back. I'll get back to you. I'll help you through this process because I want you to know you are never alone. You can truly get the body of your dreams, but it is going to require really, truly looking within and making sure that everything that you are doing moving forward is not coming from a place of self-hate, but coming from a place of self-love. Thank you so much for tuning into the Fit Without Obsession podcast. If this episode helped you heal, grow, or just feel a little less alone, go ahead and hit the follow button so that you never miss a moment of this journey. And if you loved it, share it on your stories and tag me at @thefitbean_. I seriously love seeing what resonates. Sharing this podcast helps more women step out of obsession and into their power. And that ripple effect starts with you. And if you're ready for deeper support, check the show notes for ways that we can work together. Just remember, eat the pasta, wear the shorts, and love the hell out of your life. You deserve it always. Talk soon.